Hi, this is Umair, and I'm going to walk you through a software asset management use case that's rather advanced. It's been made available in the 𝐲𝐿 release, which is what I'm logged in. And this use case is accelerating some of the repetitive manual software fulfillment tasks that asset managers have to do on a day-to-day basis. So there are a number of AI agents built specifically for IT asset management use cases like this one. So we're going to be invoking systematically different AI agents based on a service catalog software request for an individual who's requesting various software titles, one of which will require the agent to draw from an existing available allocation in your entitlement table. The other one requiring a purchase of a license because there are going to be an insufficient number of available licenses for that request. The agents have been configured out of box to be run autonomously. However, within the AI Agent Studio, you are free to go in and change that mode to a supervised mode as well. So I'm going to start by clicking on the available service catalog request that's been pre-submitted for Martin Rodriguez. I'm just going to open up that request number, and you're going to see that Martin's requested it and it's in an approval requested state. So now you're going to see this has already been approved. And there are 3 different software titles as part of this one request. So we're going to click on the very first requested item here. And if we were to do this in the pre-𝐲𝐿 release, typically this would require you to source it manually, determine if there's available licenses, and then have the workflow run the allocation for you. So it requires a series of steps and decision points to be made. Within the 𝐲𝐿 release, you're going to notice the AI agents that are set to run autonomously in this case will get fired up within the Now Assist panel. So I'm going to click on the Now Assist panel, and it's going to start populating the steps that the agent is going to take. So a quick summary of the request number, the requested item as part of that request, how many quantity of licenses have been requested. It'll tell you based on polling the allocation table for that software model, and it'll tell you that there's 99 user allocations available, as you can see here, and the request is for quantity 1, and the task has been updated successfully because the allocation has already been made now to that user as part of that step. So it's taken a logical series of flow actions and automated them for you. So now I'm going to click back on the top here where you're going to see the next requested item. So I'm going to click into that, and we're going to click on the second one there. So now this is 1006. Now it's also summarized that request that it's quantity 1. It hasn't been fulfilled yet. It says that there's 120 device-based allocations. It's understood that this is Adobe Acrobat. It's licensed on a per device metric based on the software model and the license metric that's set on the model. And now it's asking us, because it's allocated by device, it's asking you which of the devices assigned to Martin would you like this associated to. Now this obviously can also be automated depending on an input variable as part of the request. So if Martin specifically requests for this on his MacBook, then that'll automatically be followed through as part of the fulfillment. In this case, we haven't asked Martin. We're going to make that decision here. So we're just going to click on MacBook Pro 15-inch. So now what's happened is it has allocated the Adobe Acrobat per device license successfully to Martin's MacBook Pro asset, which you'll be able to see in the allocation table within the entitlement record. Now we're going to go and click on the third request, which is 10007. And that is now for Microsoft Word. Now this is where we've specifically requested for something that you're going to see in a moment does not have sufficient licenses available. So you're seeing that there are insufficient licenses available. And because of that, the agent has inferred that you're going to need to make a purchase. I'm just going to scroll up a little bit so you can see that the quantity requested was 1, there's insufficient licenses, and a purchase order flow has been initiated. So now it's asking me what metric group for this purchase order. This is a Microsoft product, so I'm just going to select Microsoft and hit submit. Now it's asking me what's the license metric associated to this product. We're just going to say it's a per device metric. So this is where you're determining entitlement parameters. So what it's done now, as you can see, it's created a purchase order line item associated to that product. And so it's actually taken that Microsoft Word product model, the associated software model parameters that are obviously associated to it, including the vendor catalog items, the approved vendors, etc. And it's pre-populated with the correct part number, with the correct information associated to the model into the purchase order as a PO line item. So now if you pause here for a moment, if you were to accelerate how this would happen in real time, we're talking about a matter of maybe a minute to process 3 software requests in one go. And again, this was done in an autonomous fashion. However, I've got a couple of steps in here in the flow that I probably don't need, including the stockroom. Perhaps also if I pre-qualify the device that it's going to be requested for, I can avoid a couple of steps there and probably shave off another 30 seconds. And as you extrapolate this out at scale, we're talking about time savings of hours, if not days, of a software asset practitioner's time. I'm going to show you in another video exactly how we configure those agents in the AI Agent Studio. So these are, again, pre-built and available in the 𝘂𝑪𝑘 release of Software Asset Management Pro Plus, but you can go in and configure them, and I'll show you how that's done in a later video.